Okay. Not streaming this, but I'm just gonna record an 11-2 match I have.
Valera versus Uther.
I will fight with honor.
Watch your back.
I think I prefer to keep all of these on the starting hand. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good early game. The only one drop in this deck is Abusive Sergeant, and there's 3 deadly poisons. But yeah, this is fine. I don't want to mulligan any of these and then get something worse, so I'll just stick with all of them. Even if these are repeat 2 drops. Sometimes you don't play Barber until you have a weapon equipped, so in that case, Pyromancer is better on turn 2. Okay, well, we drew a deadly poison. That's good. If he decides to coin here, like Minibot or something, we might just dagger hold. Okay, that's looking like most likely Avenge if I had to take a guess, so. Almost tempted to dagger here instead of playing a creature. And the reason being is that I have more control over the Wild Pyromancer proc of Deadly if I have to use it next turn. So I think I'll just dagger him, even though I have a 2-drop. So if I want to trigger the Wild Pyro, I have flexibility over that now. Alright, if he just plays a stealth minion, then just play Shade on turn 3, that's fine. Probably Avenge, if I had to take a guess, so.
Not on my watch.
If I were him, I wouldn't even attack there, but assuming that's Avenge, how do I want to do this? Hit there, and then eviscerate that after I play a 2-drop. That sounds like a plan. Okay.
Here we go.
Yep, Avenge. Then we'll just go with the Auto Barber and eviscerate. If we played the Wild Pyro, then you guys know what would happen. Its effect would kill this, so now his best response is Consecrate. And if he does that, then we have initiative. I mean, I'm at 11 wins. He probably has it. I guess not. Oh wow, it's a secret deck. Cool. Who would have thought, right? So, play I want to make here, especially not seeing Consecrate, is rather than trigger a second Avenge, I can do one thing, hit there, Wild Pyro, Weapon, Deadly, clear that, drop my guys to 1, and it shouldn't matter since he doesn't have Consecrate, and then simultaneously kill 2 creatures so Avenge doesn't proc. Alternatively, I can proc Avenge like that, but then I lose a creature that way. So let's attempt to do that. First we'll attack and check for Noble Stack. Here we can check for Repentance. And just re-equip a weapon. And then this checks for Redemption. That checks for Eye for an Eye. And it's Avenge. Right? We check for every secret that way. And I'm doing this because I didn't see a Consecrate last turn. I'm pretty sure he would have used it if he had it. So this is fine, extending 3 creatures that have 1 HP onto the board. I just will have to be careful to not remember to not use a spell because all of my guys are at 1 HP. So, alright, there he's giving me the Avenge. Alright. So how we can do this is just play Sea Giant. Yeah, that sounds great. Play Sea Giant. Trade in this guy into there. That procs the Avenge, we take it out with our weapon, face. Sounds like a plan. So we don't want this guy hanging around because he kind of denies us from using spells since we have a 1 HP guy. And yeah, play goes exactly as planned. We are far ahead. We have a weapon equipped. We have an 8/8, a 5/2, and a 3/1. It's looking like it's over. He needs a big swing card like Equality Consecrate. We know he doesn't have Consecrate because we would obviously use it earlier. Equality, I don't know. Or the Humility, follow the rules. Anything to lower this to 1 attack, that would also work. The Shade is just getting bigger and bigger every turn. So I'm definitely favored here. He might have MC Tech. I never played 4 creatures, so I have to keep that in mind too.
I wonder.
Yeah, it's looking like he's pretty screwed. I have lethal next turn with just what I have on board and my weapon. I don't even need to play anything from my hand. Yeah, I mean, I still should have lethal, unless that's another Noble Sacrifice or something like that. Well, we're playing this regardless. This gives us 3 damage, this gives us 2, 3. So either way, it gives us 3 damage. So first we can just check for Noble Sac this way. We'll check with our face. It's the lowest damage thing. It's not Noble Sac, then we lose it. Okay, good game. If I had to take a guess, it was probably another Avenge. Alright, so great. We went 12 wins. Here's the deck real quick, if you can see it on the side. Just giving it a good scroll. It's pretty good, as you can see. Alright. And wow, that's a lot of... That gave me a lot of gold. Okay, so I'll include a new draft in this video as well. We just did Rogue. We could do it again. I mean, I got 12 wins with it. Could do Hunter as well. Hunter is a good class. I went A with my last Hunter. Priest is sketchy. I don't like Priest. Okay, we'll do Rogue again since we had like try and get a. I like Ogre Ninja. I like this card. We're picking it. Oh, the other spells suck, so have to pick Snapjaw. Here, the other minions suck. Deadly Poison versus Silverhand. We have 2 5s. Let's take a Deadly Poison. Oh wow. I think I'd take Leper-Gnome over these 2 cards. I mean, Ghoul can be okay, but it's situational. When you have board control, you don't even want to play it, so it becomes a dead card. Yeah, I don't like Unstable Ghoul. Let's go with the Leper-Gnome, even though that card's not that great. These 2 suck, so we might as well just go with the Assassin's Blade. Not that bad. I would normally take Silverhand Knight, but we have 3 5s and 1 4. You know, this is not a very... It's an alright-ish 4, but let's just take it. There's a good 4. 3 versus 2 drop. This is... I feel like this card is better on Rogue than Direwolf Alpha. There's a good 2 drop. Take a 2 drop because we only have 1. Charger, all of these look okay. I mean, I don't want to take this because I'm not a mage, and I don't have a way to self-ping it, really. So it has to be hitting... This card is good and constructed, but in Arena, unless you're a mage, it's not that good. Like, it's okay. I'd rather take a 3 drop. Might take this, even though it has a pretty nasty downside. Looking at my 3s, because this card can be useful, I guess. What would probably give me more use as a rogue? The swap will definitely give me use, and so will the charge. The only difference is this I can play early game. This I can also play early game, but I don't really want to, because you don't want to give your opponent a wild growth on like turn 3. So I think we'll go with Alchemist for that reason. These 4s are both very mediocre. I'll just take another 2 drop. 2 drops are always nice. Healer versus Berserker. Rogue doesn't have an easy way to buff this. Let's just go with the healer. Definitely this 2 drop is really good. 1 sprint is nice in the deck, especially since we have no card draw so far. My last draft had a sprint and it came in handy a lot of my games. I mean, this is a decent, it's a 6/6 for 6, but I think we'll take our sprint here, just in case we don't get a chance to draft another one. Here is the obvious 3. We don't have many 3s. We don't have dragons, but I mean, it's still a 2/4 for 3, so whatever. Don't want to take a second Assassin's Blade, we'll just go with another 2 drop. think that's enough for 2 drops for now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including Alchemist, but that's not like a real one. And how many 4s do we have? 1, 2, 3. Alright, we'll take a 4 here. Sunwalker, good card. Rogue likes taunts. Spellbreaker versus Defies. This can be a really good 2-drop. Let's see. Do I have cheap cards to combo with? Yeah, 1 Deadly, 1 Leper, bunch of 2s. Those are all good cards to combo Defies with if you don't have coin. Alternatively, just having a Spellbreaker sometimes is nice if they have, you know, annoying minions in Arena. Overall, what's probably going to do more work for me? I mean, this will be more valuable if I end up silencing like Belchers and stuff like that. But I think Defias is just better overall. So I guess the condition for this is combo. The condition for this is your opponent needs to have something that's worth silencing, otherwise it's a 4-3 for 4. So I have a ton of 2s. This is a good one. I have 4 4s. It's a tough one, actually. This one I'll think about. This combos with Night Juggler. Okay, we'll go with Defias. I just like Defias better. Here we need 3s, so that's a good sight to see. Oh my god, Assassinate versus Dark Iron Dwarf. Dark Iron Dwarf is just a quality card. I just love this card. Assassinate, having 1 is nice, you know. It can really bail you out of... But I think in terms of Snowball, Dark Iron is just better. It's a creature you can play on 4, and if you have board control, you don't need to Assassinate, because you can just trade up every turn. So... yeah, I really want to pick Dark Iron here. It's just one of the best 4-drops, especially in the heavy 2-drop deck. We have 7 2-drops. Dark Iron Dwarf is amazing because, you know, we're going to have something to use it on most likely as long as we have some board control and get our 2 and 3 drops early. So I really want to pick Dark Iron here instead of the Assassinate, which is a really good card, but again, it's kind of sitting in your hand until your opponent... It's kind of like your opponent plays like a Tyrion and you Assassinate her, you know, a big creature. I think I'm gonna go Dwarf. That was my first pick. Well, I talked all of that, and then that happened. So that's pretty funny. Let's go with Cold Blood. Might not be that bad. We have a bunch of 5s, a bunch. Well, 3 real 5-drops, but I mean this goes well with the amount of 2-drops we have. We don't want another Blade, but Cold Blood might not be that bad. It can act like a 1-mana Eviscerate when you have board control, except you need to use a minion with it. It's actually not that bad here. Looking at the curve, I don't want another 5-mana card. Even though this goes well with like Defias, it just goes well with a lot of our cards. Cold Blood really might not be that bad here. Thinking about it. This helps us trade up, and this helps us just get a big creature if we already have board control. So this is a get ahead more card. Cold Blood is like, it can help you trade up, which is really useful. Kind of want to pick it. Now this one's tough. Again, this is tough. I'm more leaning towards Cold Blood just looking curve-wise, how we have so many of 5s here, but then I look at our actual 5-drops and we have 3. 2 of the other 5 cards are kind of like, this is Destroy Minion, this is Equip a Weapon, so... Let's go with Cold Blood. Let's see. We have some pretty decent big creatures for Rogue anyways, so... Harvest Golem here definitely needs some more 3s. Another 1-drop, or this goes all with Cold Blood, hey? But this... I think we have enough 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4-drops. Let's take a 1-drop here. Like drafting. Okay, here we're in need of a big creature, and this is a pretty good one considering the amount of 2s we have. Yeah, this here we'll take Storm. That's a nice fit. Definitely the Frost Elemental here, looking at the curve. And last card, wow, another 2 or just another 5. Well, we only have 3 5s, which was my point earlier. Let's take another 5. So now we have 4 5-drops. Yeah, honestly, this deck's not that bad. I mean, I think my last one was better just because I had more OP cards. The last Rogue I just went 12 with. It was 3 Deadly Poisons, 2 Eviscerates, you know, 1 Sprint. What else did it have? 2 Bloodsail Raiders, which they're like, think of Bloodsail Raiders are like built-in Cold Bloods if you have a lot of weapons. I had a Blade Flurry in that deck, so not as good as the last deck. 1 Auto Barber in that last deck too. So yeah, definitely not as good as the last deck, but it's not that bad either. I mean, I think it's above average, only slightly, but I think it's above average. I don't think this is a bad deck at all. Like, we have a sprint, we have good at, like, low amount of late game, which is good for Rogue, high on 5s, which can be alright. We have a lot of 2s, so we shouldn't be worried about the early game. The only the only difference is we're kind of low on the weapon side. We have 1 Deadly and 1 Assassin's Blade, and I don't really like Assassin's Blade. It's like too slow of a card, but I had to pick it when I picked it, so the other choices were bad. So all in all, I predict about maybe 7 to 8 wins. I think that sounds about right with this deck. If I get lower than that, oh well. But I doubt we're going to get 12 again, like we just did with this deck. So yeah, my best guess would be 7 to 8 wins. That sounds about right. Yeah, so I know I didn't stream this, but I felt like making a video since I was already 11 wins. I'm like, why not record it and just put it on YouTube? So yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions on how I played, how I drafted, anything at all, suggestions, how I can improve these videos, just let me know in the comments below.